Let's venture deep into the woods, where the shadows hide terrifying secrets. In this video, we'll explore 35 of the most scary things ever caught on camera in the wilderness. From strange creatures to unexplainable events, these spine-chilling moments will make you think twice before stepping into the forest alone. Going to the woods with friends is great, but you can never tell what you would find. This man and his friends were in the woods when they saw something that sent chills down their spine.
Wait. Okay, be careful.
In this video, the man and his friends first thought that the creature had left. However, they were shocked over again. What they saw would make any courageous person run as fast as possible.
Okay.
It made no sense to still hold a camera in the face of danger. It wasn't surprising that the phone was left behind, to be taken later when they were sure the strange creature was gone. It's not uncommon to find bags everywhere. Sometimes the bag may contain refuse or even private belongings. However, what this man found in a bag would surprise you.
In a haunted forest, and I stumble upon this. There's a deer wrapped in something.
Moving closer to the bag, the stench grew stronger, and the contents of the bag were much scary than the man had expected when he first saw the bag.
Witness this. What is wrong with people? Why would you put a deer in a tarp?
Seeing a dead deer wrapped in a bag and buried in snow is not something anyone would expect to see in broad daylight. If you found something like this in the woods, what would you do? There are different kinds of trees you'd see in the woods. However, trees can still be classified because they share similarities. You would not believe the shape of the tree a man found in the woods.
So you guys, I just pulled over to use the restroom because I drive trucks, and look what I seen.
The shape of the tree was not only unusual, you'd also notice something when you take a closer look. What looked like a person resting on a tree was just a branch of the tree.
I'm sorry, that can't be real.
There is no telling how this came to be, but one conclusion we can all agree on is that nature is unpredictable. If you have a phobia for big scary creatures, the woods may not be the best spot to be on a hot afternoon. What you may expect would be a normal day out in the woods may turn out to be you interrupting some big creatures getting a good tan. A trip into the woods led to an encounter with a big snake who looked rather comfortable, but it was obvious that any slight disturbance could lead to many unexpected things. You are wrong if you think that's all. Like siblings enjoying a good tan a couple of meters from one another, our big writhing friend had a partner. There's no certainty that you won't find more of them in that vicinity. There are 1,000,001 pieces of advice online on what to do when you see a bear. Too many times when it happens, all of this perfect advice will find an escape route out of the mind. You won't imagine what this young boy did when he encountered a bear in the woods.
Vieni Ale. Ehi, dai. Sì, la sto facendo, vieni.
It's important that no matter how much tension the boy feels running through his body, he can't run or move too quickly enough for the bear to see him as a threat. How long do you think you can last and bring calm in the face of danger?
Non dargli la schiena, lui fa I cavoli suoi.
Even his parents who were with him must have had a million thoughts running through their minds. Finally, the bear left and went in another direction. cave in the middle of nowhere should probably have a sign outside that tells people not to move closer, especially since you can never know what to expect when you enter one. Entering the cave in the middle of a forest made a man instantly regret his actions because of what he experienced inside the cave. Maybe next time, he would ensure to hold a touchlight so he can get a head start on whatever may be inside the cave. If you are a lover of walking into the woods, you may want to look out for unexplained structures along the path. The next time you go on a walk into the woods, there is no telling what you can find along the path. Just like this man was not expecting what he saw on his way during a walk. The cave-looking structure was man-built, but we can't say what the original purpose for building it was. What do you think would be inside? Would you go inside if you saw it? What looked like a movement inside the structure may be much more than we think it is. Some things are hard to explain. That's not because we can't see it happen, but because there are not just words that perfectly describe them. As far as what was seen here, eerie is too small to describe it. It is fair to compare this to a person lying down and breathing heavily. That's not something you see every day. It's not even something some people get to see once in their lifetime. It's hard to tell what will happen if a person walks on that breathing ground. But sometimes these things are better imagined than tested out. When driving, you look out for various things. What this driver saw while driving was far beyond what he could ever have looked out for. If this had not been caught on camera, you most likely wouldn't believe that it happened. No one knows what danger the deer must have been in to have done that with all its might. A walk down the woods may be a walk into a death zone for some people. Some people have had to either run for their lives or choose other safety measures that may not have been safe. When this man decided to take a walk into the woods, he never would have imagined what he would encounter in the woods.
Go away! Go away! No! No!
It's a complicated situation because he can't turn his back on the animal, and neither can he stay without doing anything. Moments like this are known to be moments where every safety tip you may know before then will not be useful.
Okay. This is when I fucking die. No! Get the fuck away!
Threatening a scary animal that could kill him was not a bright idea, but in the absence of a better one. It seems to have sufficed as the perfect choice.
Shit face, dude. I'm trying to attack you, you guys are looking away from you. Dude. What do you want me to do? Come on.
The resilience the animal used going after its prey should be studied because it didn't seem to back down or give up till the very end. Leaving a camera active in the woods could reveal a lot of things, from the tiniest details of what goes on in the woods when no one is watching to the much scarier details like the one caught right on this camera. The camera caught something quite unexpected. The deer would give anything at that point to be free from its guest, and you can notice that from the way it moved and even attacked the camera. Maybe not much of what you would expect, but looking at the uncomfortable position the deer was in, it gets scarier when you realize just how much of those clouds of mosquitoes he is dealing with right there. Just like a human will do some funny things when they know that they are not being watched, animals also tend to do the same when not being watched. Such is the case of this bear caught on camera, doing what you would not have imagined. We can guess what is going on in the bear's mind, but none of our imaginations could describe what must have been going on with him. The bear kept wandering about the location of the camera like it was enjoying the attention. Maybe it was. There is no way to find out. We have encounters with people every day, even in the woods. You can meet those who are camping out in the woods or people who are out there for other purposes like jogging, scouting, and so on.
Buddy, how you doing? Oh.
Just with that same mind, this man encounters someone in the woods who looks and acts in a way he wasn't expecting. What looked like a normal person in the woods was much more than he expected it to be.
Just some cruisers, man.
When what originally looked normal proved to be not normal, the man started taking steps backwards, especially since the creepy man began to crawl towards him. At this point, it is not quite hard to imagine the million things that could go wrong. The man took to his heels as the creepy man continued to charge towards him. Many years after the idea of Bigfoot first became something of national consciousness, many people around the country are still usually on the lookout for nests, sounds, or human-like footprints that were a massive 16 inches long.
Okay, I'm recording now. Alright, this is the nest. I'm about to climb inside of it.
This man found what could be the answer to the many years of mystery. What do you think he would find? Too many times, answers are not gotten from a distance, so a closer look is often the option. Would you go this far just to unveil a mystery? The inner part of the nest indeed looked like something as big as where Bigfoot could be found. When you hear a noise coming towards you in the woods, you have a higher chance of survival if you have a gun ready and poised to protect yourself, just in case what comes out from the noise is something that could potentially kill you. A man heard noises coming towards him. What he saw next surprised him so much that he could not even cork the gun. One would think that the bear would run as far as it could when it saw the gun pointed at it, but that was not the case in this situation. Despite having a ready gun, there was still nothing that the man could do to the bear other than watch its theatrics and hope that it did not go beyond that. A walk into the woods with friends can turn into a discovery moment. This man went to the woods with his friends. Their walk turned into a discovery moment, and you won't believe what they found. Different discoveries ranging from gun bullets, Soviet helmets, gas masks, and many more being found in the middle of nowhere is not something you would expect to find in the middle of the woods. An imaginative mind can paint a picture of what could have transpired in that spot many years ago, but the discovered items are not enough to tell the story as they should be told. There are unusual things in the woods, and it is usually hard to put them on a scale of least scary to most scary. While waiting to rest for a while during his walk in the woods, a man discovered something unusual along his path. If you mistakenly step on these dancing tiny creatures, you would jump up in fear. What do you think they are? In a moment alone in the woods, even a gun may not save you from the scary possibilities you may encounter. You won't expect what a man armed with a gun saw in the woods that made his gun seem useless to help him.
Get back.
Shooting the gun at the tiger did not do anything to make the tiger back away. Even if he had 2 of those guns, it still may not have made a difference against his worthy opponent. Realizing that his gun was not helping, the man froze at first, before then regaining his composure in the face of danger. When the gun proved useless, the next and best option was to let his legs carry him as fast as he possibly could. The same woods where you can potentially come across a million things that can kill you, the woman was in the woods too for reasons you would not expect. After a party she attended in town went south with an attack that claimed her life. Finding safety in one of the most unusual and unexpected places can be what would just save her life. That is not without the crippling fear that wants her to focus on what was going wrong. What she did instead was surprising and unexpected. In a moment of chaos and unexpected turn of events, staying calm and settled may be just the saving portion you need, no matter what the circumstances are. Finding small water bodies in the woods is not uncommon. A man stopped by a water creek, and what originally seemed like a normal water creek proved to be much more than that. One look at the creek and one would think that there was nothing sinister there. However, a little disturbance on the water showed that there was something right there watching all along and just waiting for the right time to attack.
Shit.
Imagine how bad that would have been if he had been caught more unaware. Anyone could be walking along that path without realizing that they were being watched from the corner by something that could kill them. What happens when the only safety measures you know to get out of a situation do not prove to be helpful? A man who encountered a bear in the woods did something in an attempt to save himself, but he did not expect what happened next.
Воля, ноги дергай.
Climbing a tree when running away from a bear is not the best choice, because black bears can also climb trees unless they do not feel like it. The man did not realize that until he was already a couple of meters up. Now he can't come back down. He also cannot go far up because it is not proving to be any fruitful. Luckily, the bad decision finally gave results, as the bear could not go further. You can stand at a spot and you find scary things find their way to you. A man noticed some noise beside the path he was passing, and when he stopped to see what it was, what he saw next was unexpected. The deer's sire had some important place they needed to me, and the man was not going to be the reason that they would take an alternative route. The second deer looked like he had to think about his choice twice, but finally decided that it was worth the risk. Speaking of unexpected things you can see in the woods, this group of friends were in the woods when they said something that made them stop in their tracks. The snake was not a bit bothered about the company. However, any form of interruption may have led to undesired results.
ไม่พวกงวดหน้าไงลองงวดหน้า
งวดหน้าใช่ไหมอุ้ยมันพันอย่างนี้เนาะ
เราเคยเห็นไหมมันพันอย่างเงี้ยไม่เคยเห็นนะ
The group of friends left the snake uninterrupted, waiting for it to go, before they continued their way once again. The next time to see something like this in the woods, you may want to steer completely clear of its way. At first glance, it is hard to understand what's going on here, but on a much closer look, it was much more than you must have thought it was. The Komodo dragon's moment when swallowing its prey would make you think hard about taking a step closer when you ever see it. It did not seem to care for anything else at that moment. The ability to take on its prey whole without any inconvenience is something that is better seen on camera than physically. Too many times we complain about what these animals do when they see humans, but we don't talk enough about how our actions sometimes affect these animals. A man in the woods saw something quite unexpected.
Oh my God.
From one side, it looked like the beaver was stuck trying to get something from inside the tree. A quick turnaround of the camera revealed much more. The tree, which was left half-cut, seemed to have lost its last hold when the beaver was trying to get something there. Life is a survival of the fittest. The battle for survival goes beyond humans alone. Two creatures battling for survival caught the attention of some people who were in the woods, and what happened next shocked everyone. One would think that the bird had a higher chance of winning this fight, but that proved to be wrong, because the snake was not just giving up either.
Yeah, he's not gonna make it.
Just watch out for his head, he might come at you.
No.
In the end, the battle for dominance ended with the snake sniffing life out of the bird. It is fair to call that an act of revenge for the beak hitting that went on earlier. What looked like a normal tree may be much more than that when you take a closer look. This man spotted blood close to a tree in the woods and looked around to search for its source. Instead of finding a dead animal close by, what he discovered was much more surprising. The tree appears to be bleeding. It is a natural defense mechanism of certain trees when their bark is damaged. The bright red color of the sap resembles blood, making this tree look almost like it's alive in a way that we aren't used to. These guys went on a friend's camping trip. Unknown to them, they woke up in the middle of the night to discover something strange happening around them.
Ai, meu Deus do céu! Vocês estão entendendo o quanto de jacaré tem aqui? Ai, meu Deus. Eu tô na barraca, literalmente.
They had no idea that their camping spot was near gator-infested water. With nothing less than 5 alligators surrounding their tent, it is going to take some time and work to get out of there unhurt.
Acampar. Vamos dormir aqui, guys? Ferrou meu.
If you woke up and found yourself surrounded by so many gators on a camping trip, what would you do? When people place trail cams in the woods, what do they expect to find? Sometimes these cams caught the scariest things on camera, while some other times it is just the empty view in front of it. This camera caught something no one would have expected to see. In a system where female cougars were thought to be ecologically extinct, the cam caught one struggling with a white deer in broad daylight. The struggle ended with victory for the cougar as it went off with its win. Most times, we never know what goes on in the woods late in the night unless we are there to witness it, or maybe set a trail cam somewhere. This family set their trail cam on a path in the woods, and what they discovered later was more than they expected to see. Deers tend to move more freely at night, often foraging for food without a care in the world, unless they encounter something bad. The trail cam's infrared sensor gave the deer an otherworldly appearance, especially with the glowing eyes. Bears are cool to watch animals until they are not. This bear was caught doing something you would not imagine. What had started as a normal view of bears walking across the path ended in an unexpected way. The grill bears were walking majestically across the view of the camera, but when one of them stopped suddenly, the energy changed. You can imagine how long he seemed to have been waiting for such a good scratch. Some sights in the woods would make you jump up in fear no matter how bold you are. This cam caught something that a person should not come across while in the woods. The cougar seems to be enjoying his space and looking around for something to eat. That's one reason why Enco entering this while in the woods at night may not have a happy ending. Even in broad daylight, some sights can still make you shake far when you go into the deep part of the woods without a guide. Imagine coming across something that would make you pee in your pants and wish that you had not left home that day. A black wolf is a rare sight to behold. The mere look at it makes one rethink major life decisions. Although they don't in the video walk away without any issues, it would not have been the same if he sighted a human. What do you do when you encounter a bear in the woods? Would you run, walk, or find a tree? These questions are easier to imagine when you are not in that position. What these ladies did when they saw a black bear in the woods was surprising and different. The bear can be seen trying to get a reaction from them. From shaking violently to pushing and other things, the lady stood her ground and stayed still.
Vete caminando ya.
After trying for a while, the bear left them and went on its own. Most times we believe that there's no right way to act when you encounter something scary in the woods, but there's a perfect way. There are some things you wish never to experience in the woods, and that includes being stuck in an unimaginable place with an animal that can tear you apart. The man kept trying to push the bear back to the ground, but the best was not giving up either. With a human determined to live and a best determined to harm, it is only a matter of who gets tired first.